85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping. Yo, welcome people. How we all doing, man? Welcome back to another stream. Who we got in the chat today, man? We got Rahul, we got Edge, Bush Gang, Tyrone, Lewis, Leo Oxycan, Guy Gla, James Perry, Osmodus, Evan, Tyrone, Lengon Sweet, Sakib, Evan. Yo, chat's been fucking mad, mates. You're all fucking buzzing for the pre-match conference, man. Pep Guardiola and Ruben Dias have just been speaking ahead of tomorrow's huge game in the Champions League. First leg of the quarterfinals, Bayern Munich. It's going to be a madness. We're going to go through everything that's just been said from the press conference. It was quite a long one as well, because obviously the Champions League, you have a player and the manager, and it went on for some time. So we've got a lot to get through. Make sure you guys smash the preview, smash a like on the stream if you've not done so already, man. Let's get those likes up. We've got nearly 400 people in the stream right now. Let's get those likes past 200, man. Help a brother out, innit? You know what I mean? Out here doing the solo streams and that. So help a brother out and get those likes past 200 for us. And of course, big up to the guys at Manscaped for sponsoring today's stream. You can get 20% off your order and free international shipping at manscaped.com. I've got stuff under my chair and my chair's getting stuck. First of all, I would just say, Liverpool, GG's, respect me. Yo, Liverpool coming out there clutching. And they did it in some funny way as well, because they're obviously 2-0 down. I spoke about it last night on my Twitch stream. By the way, if you're not following me on Twitch, innit, make sure you follow me on Twitch, because I was speaking about it last night. Yeah, pretty crazy that, wasn't it? You know what I mean? And the match, I mean, I only watched the last 8 minutes because I couldn't watch the game. I was at my parents' house. We were having some food and that, you know what I mean? And yes, I only put it on at 2-2. And I was like, geez, Liverpool could have won the game, but then Arsenal could have won it right at the end. So I'll take a point. And of course, now it is back in our hands, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crazy situation. We just got to see what happens. And by the way, people asking for my Twitch. I've just put it in the chat there for you. Right, let's get into it then, guys, because I want to get into all the things that have been said today, because it's been quite a long one. Like I said before, they do usually go on for quite some time when it comes to the press conferences. So let's get it, because Ruben Dias was the man speaking ahead of the game today. Where are we at here? We get the. I'm not even on the right thing. Make sure you follow City Extra, by the way, on Twitter and Instagram. You could get all this yourself. Right, here we go then. So Ruben Dias on the key to reaching the Champions League final. Ruben Dias says, more than anything else, ambition. You know what? And that's probably right, you know, because if you remember the game last year, right? You remember the game last year we played against Real Madrid. I think that's what really cost us. Ambition to kill the game off. You know what I mean? We didn't kill the game off in either the home game or the away leg, and that's really what we needed to do, man. So I think Ruben Dias is bang on the money there, to be honest with you. He then goes on to say about João Cancelo. He said it's going to be strange, but it is what it is. It's football. It's the life we live. And in a way, it will be good to play against him. And of course, that's if he gets selected. I don't know if he's actually going to get selected, João Cancelo. So we'll have to wait and see. On Bayern Munich, he says, after everything Bayern has done, always, we know who we're up against. A different side. And obviously, the Premier League is different than the Bundesliga. But we know it will be balanced between us. And we are very sharp. Going on against Cancelo again, he says, especially after our time at Man City together, we have built a special relationship, so we've been in contact. But when the game starts, each one will be on their own side. He says, we all have special feeling when it comes to this stage of the season. Our team gets fed by these moments. And this is something that I really wanted to discuss this morning, because I'm seeing a lot of people on social media, a lot of people... In the mainstream media, Arsenal fans, I'm hearing a lot of people saying, oh, City have got Bayern Munich twice, they've got FA Cup, they've got possibly Real Madrid, Chelsea in the next round if they beat Bayern Munich, and all Arsenal have got is one game a week. And I've said this for some time, right? I've said this for some time. I don't want to be in Arsenal's position of having one game a week. They just dropped points yesterday. They've got to wait a whole week until their next game. I don't like that. I've said this for time. I prefer to go bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? Game. Momentum monsters. I don't want to be that team who has one game a week. I don't think that suits teams, especially when you drop points. Because now they've got a whole week to think about, oh my God, we dropped points against Liverpool. We were 2-0 up and we could have won it in the last second of the game and we didn't. Meanwhile, they'll be watching City versus Bayern Munich. Meanwhile, they'll be watching Manchester City versus Leicester on Saturday. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I don't agree. I don't agree with people when they say that. Just because it worked for Leicester. I hear when people do this. It worked for Leicester. Leicester only had one game a week. Boom, boom, boom. They went on and won the league. Right? That's one team. Just because it worked for Leicester doesn't mean it's going to work for Arsenal. And what's worked for Manchester City in the last 5 or 6 years is having games coming thick and fast. Bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with these people. And I agree with Ruben Dias again here that our team loves these sort of moments. He says, like a very wise man once said to me, we didn't lose the Champions League final. We got one step closer. I mean, to be fair, that's pretty optimistic way of looking at it. You know what I mean? That's very much glass half full. So fair dues to Ruben for thinking like that. But I'm telling you now, we fucking lost that final. Ruben says, I think every season that begins, the work you have to do is to stay in the Premier League, the Champions League. We've done very well, but it's not enough. You either do it or not, says Ruben Dias. And that is the brutality of football, isn't it? It is the brutality of football. So that's it. You win or lose. You know what I mean? There ain't no second place. No one cares about second place. Right? Well, we shouldn't care about second place because this Sheikh Mansour, Khaldoon and that, Pep Guardiola, they've built this team to win. It's not a bad thing to be frustrated when you don't win because that's what this team is now built on, success. Big up Lee Gates with a £4 donation says, we are at our most dangerous come April and May. I agree. And that's because we've got games coming thick and fast, bro. You know what I mean? We always say this, don't we? We always get better usually just after Christmas where it's games. Now, we normally struggle at the beginning part of the season, mid part of the season, because it's, you don't have that many games, you know what I mean? And the games that you do have, Champions League, you know what I mean? It's group stage, no one really cares, you know what I mean? We usually dust through them. Carabao Cup, I mean, we've actually not done that well the last couple of years, but previously we just dust through that as well. FA Cup doesn't start till later on in the year. Knockout rounds don't start. The Champions League don't start till later on in the year. So this is where it gets serious business. So I agree, Lee, 100% agree. Thanks for the donation, mate. Appreciate it. So then what happened was a bit of a weird press conference. I don't know how many of you guys listen to the press conferences, man, but some of the questions are just bizarre. Anyway, one journalist listed all the players that could frighten Manchester City with their pace. And Ruben Dias responded by listing Manchester City players who can do the same. He says, we've got our own players too. We'll see on the pitch. He says, it's never easy to lose a Champions League final like we did. I'm never the guy to think too much about losing a big opportunity. In the next 5 minutes, I'll be looking for the next one. And that was the final comment from Ruben Dias. And, pretty much absolutely bang on from him. Everything that you want to be hearing from him there is spot on. More evidence that he should be club captain going into next season for me. I think the way he speaks in the press conferences, in interviews, pre or post-match the game, the way he leads on the football pitch, Ruben Dias for me has to be our captain going into next season. Okay, then we got a Pep Guardiola press conference after Ruben Dias, and he was asked again. You know, I respect all these guys, yo. I respect all these guys, innit? Big up Stia, man. I didn't even realize we didn't follow him. I thought we did. Yeah, a very, very strange press conference. One of the journalists asked Pep Guardiola how much he wants to win the Champions League. You know, I find that a very strange question. Like he's going to turn around and go, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I don't really understand the questions. This is a massive game. Ask about tactics. Ask about this or that. You know? Asking about whether or not he wants to win the champs. Weird. Pep Guardiola then said, I definitely want to win the Champions League, but you have to earn it. People always say I'm here to win the Champions League. My dream is to keep trying to win all the competitions. And here we are again in the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League. He said he didn't watch the game yesterday between Liverpool and Arsenal when asked about the whole Robertson referee incident. He said he was watching Bayern Munich and golf. So he's not actually seen the Robertson incident, which I think is much ado about nothing. And again, stop touching referees and none of this would happen. He was then asked about the final against Chelsea. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel was the manager that day, as we all know, and he's the manager of Bayern Munich. He said, I congratulated Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea. It happened. It wasn't as bad as I thought when I watched it again. But he says, I don't live in the past. He was then asked about like the differences between Nagelsmann and Tuchel. Good question. He said, when a manager is sacked and the next manager is doing well, people say it's a good decision. When opposite, they miss the old manager. And then again, you know, bit of a weird question, to be honest with you. A journalist asked Pep Guardiola whether he's enjoying the hunt for a treble with Man City. And he said, no, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Like, again, bit of a weird question. I mean, what's he meant to say? I don't get what he's meant to say there. You know what I mean? He's in the hunt for a treble. Of course he's going to be buzzing. Yeah, I don't know, mate. Maybe the journalists were on the sauce last night or something. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Easter Sunday, innit? He was then again asked about overthinking stuff. You know, this is one criticism that people give Pep Guardiola. He says, I get criticised for overthinking when I lose. If a shot goes in, we win. I have to accept this. I'm a genius when I overthink and we win. What I do to think is the right decision in the moment. Before the game, I plan for this reason and that reason. If it happens, I'm right. If it doesn't, I'm not. He says, against Monaco, we scored 6 goals and we are out. Against Tottenham, 4 goals and we are out. Against Real Madrid, 4 goals and we are out. We've always scored goals in the Champions League. That was not the problem in general, which is what I've been banging on about for a long time. Manchester City's main issue in the Champions League is that we concede far too many goals. Far too many goals. To be honest, it's an embarrassing amount of goals we concede. If you look at teams that get to finals regularly and get to semi-final, I bet they don't concede half of the many goals as we do in the knockout games. Our defense and the way we play in knockout football is ridiculous, to be frank and to be brutal, because it is. You know, the Monaco game, I know Falcao was fucking mega that year, but still, you know, embarrassing. Tottenham, you know, we can't be conceding that many goals against Spurs. You know, Real Madrid last season, you know, just sloppy goals, you know, sloppy play, poor defensive. We have to fix up. Now, I've been saying all season since we signed Calvin Phillips, I think Pep Guardiola will play Calvin Phillips and Rodri in midfield in knockout football because I think we need that extra protection. I don't think he's going to do that now, but I think he's possibly going to do this inverted fullback with John Stones. And this is kind of what I've been saying we need to do. Now, I would prefer to have the 4 at the back. That's 5. 4 with the 2 in midfield, right? But I think we need an extra body in that midfield. I really, really do. And I think that he's going to run it. I think he's going to run John Stones in midfield. Now, I think that's a correct move, but it does leave us vulnerable at the back because you've only got 3 players then. So it will be interesting to see. But, you know, as Sam says, there's more chance of me playing than Calvin Phillips. Yeah, honestly, I've said it all season since we signed Calvin Phillips. I think Pep Guardiola wants to play 2 players in midfield. And maybe it's going to be John Stones and not Calvin Phillips. Asked about Kyle Walker. Of course, we've had lots of discussions about Kyle Walker. over the last couple of weeks. Pep Guardiola says it's a maybe game for Kyle Walker. He says, we will see. He says, with Napoli, I don't want to talk, or else their managers will be so grumpy with me. He's so sensitive, which we all know about. Bayern is not a team that is built to defend and win in the second leg. If they defend, it's because we will be attacking well. And if we defend, it's because they will attack well. And again, we've discussed this at length as well, haven't we? About what tactics is Tuchel going to do? You know, what's he going to do in this game? I'm not 100% sure. Is he going to full send it? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it's going to be a madness. It's really four with two DMs with 2 8s. There's not really a 4, is it? Because we've got. Are you talking about the defence there, Tom? Because we only have 3 at the back. John Stones in the middle, so it's a 4 at the back. But I don't know if you're talking about 4 in midfield. I'm not sure. I think you talk about 4, 2 DMs, 2 8s. Yeah. No, I've got it. Yeah, so man, it's going to be a madness. Obviously, game starts tomorrow, man. Game starts tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. Pep Guardiola speaking nice in that press conference. Seemed very relaxed. Seemed very, very relaxed. Ruben Dias seemed confident. Seemed up for it. Seemed ready for the fight. Because let me tell you something, right? Tomorrow night's not going to be an easy night, man. It's not going to be an easy night. Bayern Munich are a very good side. They know how to keep the ball. They have unreal amounts of pace that City are going to have to deal with and understand how to defend. You know, there have been times this season when we've struggled against pace, but I think that the team's in a better place right now. Of course, we all know that. And, you know, whether Kyle Walker gets in there because of his pace, as Mohamed says, we'll have to wait and see. That, you know, the question is, do you abandon the 2 in midfield with Stones? What do you do with Stones? Unless you play Stones in the middle, maybe drop a Kanji and then tell Stones to move forward and get into the midfield, you know. But do you really want to be doing something like that? Has he tested that out? I don't know if he's tested that sort of system and formation out this season with Walker playing right back, John Stones playing centre back, and then getting John Stones to drive into midfield. Do you really want to be doing that against Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarter final? I don't know. It's Pep Guardiola, so maybe he will do that. But I don't know. I guess we just have to wait and see what Pep does. I think there's a lot of discussion to be had on the team lineup, and of course we will speak about this in future streams. But I'm feeling confident, to be honest with you. I am. You know, I know Bayern Munich's a good team. I know they're a great side with great players, great manager. Really, really rate Tuchel. I think he's a top manager, top manager, top coach. Gets his team set out really, really well. But we have a great team. We have a top coach. We have great players, and I think that with Erling Haaland in the form that he's in, I mean, you know, he's frightening at the moment. He's absolutely frightening. I don't even think he was fully fit. I don't even think he was fully fit on Saturday. I don't think he was fully fit. I remember seeing him a couple of times running, but he wasn't like sprinting. He was he was a bit off the pace. Like, I don't even think he was fully fit for that game, and he still got 2 goals. Do you know what I mean? He still had a pretty decent match. So I think getting those minutes into his legs, Erling Haaland, on Saturday against Southampton was crucial for us, and that's why I wanted him to start all week. I think it was the correct decision. And we go again. We go again tomorrow night. It's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. Of course, yeah, Foden is injured, but apparently he's now about to start light training, get back on the treadmill, get back on the bikes, you know what I mean? So it sounds like Phil Foden is not too far away. We always said he was going to miss this game tomorrow, but I think Phil Foden, I think the Arsenal game he'll be looking for, maybe the Sheffield United game, you know, he might be available for that one. He might be available for Bayern Munich's second leg. That's in 10 days, you know. So he could make the second leg. He could. But you don't know, do you? Because the NHS website said anything from sort of 2 to 8 weeks, and so you don't really know how long he's going to be out for. Truth be told, with you. Yeah, no Choupo Moting. Amir in the chat, correct. That is, he's out. He's out 100%. What's Haaland's record versus Bayern? You don't want to know. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to know? I can tell you because I've already checked it. I've already checked it, man. Yeah, I get it up on the screen for you now. Check this. I'm only doing it because Doper asked for it and he paid money to do it, so I kind of got to get it up on screen. He's lost every single game, basically. He scored 5 goals. He scored 5 goals and 1 assist in 7 matches, which is decent. So personal record, Doper. He's actually got a good personal record. As a team, yeah, it's not great. It's not great. But, you know, he was playing for Dortmund, man. You know what I mean? He was playing for Dortmund. And he's playing for City now. So maybe that's different, isn't it? Maybe that's different. Big up Hamadness as well with a super chat. Says, not an easy game, but I back us to win the game and the competition. Come on, City. Absolutely, mate. You know, I'm feeling good. I see, again, people talking about, oh, yeah, City have got Bayern Munich. And if they get past Bayern Munich, they'll probably have Real Madrid. And if they get past Real Madrid, they'll have Napoli, who've been one of the best teams in Europe this season. It's the fucking Champions League. It's the Champions League, man. It's not the Johnston's Pink Trophy or whatever. You know what I mean? You're playing against the best teams in Europe. What do you expect? You want to be playing fucking Basel. You know what I'm saying? And Karabag. It's the Champions League, man. Well, what do you expect? You're in the knockout stages, a quarter-final, then semi-final, then final. That's what happens. You play the best teams, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't sitting here going, oh, we're playing Bayern, and if we get through that, we're playing Real Madrid. If we get through that, we're playing Napoli. Oh, that could be really tough. Of course it's going to be tough, man. Of course it's going to be tough. It's a Champions League. There's a reason we've not won it in a decade. It's because it's fucking hard, mate. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, some people, I don't get the sort of like, I don't get it. People want to be playing FC Karabag, man. I mean, it's bizarre. He says, I know the fact that Haaland keeps losing against Bayern. He knows how to score against them, and this time he has a proper team. 100%, mate. I don't give a fuck about that record. If I had to actually look at that record and go, okay, so even though his team's doing pretty bad, he's doing his job, right? He's doing his job. Yeah, so the team aren't doing their job. Borussia Dortmund are not doing their job, right? But he's doing his job. He's scoring goals. So that's all it cares, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? So he's got a good record. He's got a good record, man. But yeah, honestly, man, don't be sat there, people going, oh, I'm fucking well worried about this next couple of weeks. Nah, thrive on it. I'm buzzing for it, me. I can't wait for the next couple of weeks. I can't wait to play Bayern Munich twice in the space of 2 weeks. I can't wait to play Arsenal. I can't wait for it. Bring it on. You know what I'm saying? This is what football's all about, man. You're in the wrong game if you don't like these games. You don't like this period. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be emotional. There'll be ups and downs for sure. But this is what it's all about, man. You know what I mean? LB's a passion merchant more than Zinchenko. Yeah, man. He got absolutely smoked yesterday, didn't he? Off Trent Alexander-Arnold. Jesus, Zinny. You know what I mean? Didn't have a good time yesterday there, did he? Unfortunately. You know what I mean? Well, not unfortunately. You know, I say unfortunately because I like the guy, obviously. But, you know, the game's the game. You know what I mean? And you're a rival now, so I can't be backing you no more. OG M Doper with the 23 months says GOAT status soon come. Love City Extra. Love the chat. Keep it up, people. Hashtag bring back the boy Leroy. Well, maybe we'll see something happen tomorrow, innit? Maybe we'll see something happen between Tiki and the boys. Let's have a look, see what you guys are saying. Not really. It says, I back us at home. I'm confident we'll beat them. Only question is how much we'll beat them by to make the second leg comfortable. Well, first of all, I don't think we're going to be in a position where the second leg is going to be comfortable. So I'd forget about that straight away. The question is, can the team just deal with the pressure that's on them? Can they perform like they've been performing in recent weeks? You know, you're playing against a great side here, a team that knows how to win this competition, a team that knows how to keep the ball, frustrate the City team. We got to turn up tomorrow and do our own thing. If we do that, we've got a great chance, man. We've got a great chance. But I don't think it's going to be easy tomorrow in the second leg, regardless. I just don't see us putting. I think we could win 2-0. I think we could win maybe even 3-0. You know, I don't think that's unrealistic, but I think you know, Bayern Munich are you got to respect them. You know, you got to respect what they've done, and I think it's going to be a close game. And yeah, we'll be going into that second leg equally as worried and ready for it. But we got to be. This is what football's about, isn't it? You know, we got to be ready for this kind of stuff. What would be comfortable? 3-goal lead. Well, depends what you mean by comfortable. Because are you saying then comfortable means you can go and rotate players? If you're 3-0 up, right? Say you win the first. Say we win tomorrow 3-0, right? Does that mean that you're going to go to the Allianz Arena, home of multiple Champions League winning side Bayern Munich, and rotate your team? Because if you don't rotate your team, then you're clearly not comfortable, right? So you guys, comfortable for me is you can go there and rotate. Well, you're not going to be able to rotate at the Allianz Arena, right? So you're not going to be going there and be comfortable. And let's be honest, you know, it would be arrogant of our football club even if we won 2-0 or 3-0 tomorrow, it'd be arrogant of us to go to the Allianz and feel comfortable. We've never won this bloody competition. And we're playing one of the best sides in Europe. It would be arrogant for us. We got to take it. We got to be dialed in both games. We got to be dialed in and ready to go. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we'll end up getting roasted, man. But there you go. That was the press conference for Pep Guardiola, Ruben Dias as well, ahead of tomorrow's game. It's going to be a madness. We'll be live later on. I'm giving you some more updates. We might do a little preview as well. Get the team score predictions. Get the team lineups in as well. It's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one, man. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. We'll be back later on discussing all things Bayern Munich and Manchester City, going through our full preview. It's going to be a madness. Make sure you join us. Check out Manscaped. I'll roll the ad. And guys, I'll see you later. See you in a bit. 85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.
Bye.